It's the True Blue Frog Show, starring America's #1 Dallas Cowboys frog fan, True Blue Frog.
The True Blue Frog Show is sponsored by
Falstaff Beer. For man-sized pleasure, it's Falstaff. It's a touchdown with Falstaff Beer. And by Randy Moss's Retro Vintage Lunchbox from 1999. And by TV Guide. And by Kentucky Fried Chicken. And by Tibetan Monks. And by Golf. And by Theodore Roosevelt. And by Travelodge. And by those toasters that nobody ever bought. And by Burger Chef. And by Hong Kong Fooey. And by Spaceman Magazine. And by Aqua Velva. And by
Red Bull.
Well, that's the end of a great 2012 season. A very lousy season for the Cowboys. We went 8-8, and we are making a bunch of changes and all that jazz. But what an amazing Super Bowl game. The Ravens and the 49ers. And in the last video I made, I picked the Ravens to win. And I picked the score to be 35-27. And the final score for real was 36-31. So, hey, that's pretty close. And I also picked that Joe Flacco would be the MVP. And he is. And so, you know, I guess I should have gotten... I don't usually wager on these things. But sometimes, you know, a little bet with flies. You know, I get some flies together and I make a small wager. But I am just so broke these days. I didn't have any money to bet, but maybe I could have made some more flies. But anyway, so what an amazing game. Very unusual game. I also said it would be finished, it would be decided in the last 3 minutes. That's true, but not so accurate, really, because it was really down to the last seconds. And it was an amazing game between the two Harbowl brothers. An amazing, a really good performance by Beyonce at halftime. And then also, what about that strange blackout in the beginning of the third quarter after what's his name? Jacoby Jones made the run back for the kickoff return at the beginning of the third quarter, beginning of the second half, and then all the momentum swung over to the 49ers, of course. And then, but when Kaepernick was playing an incredible game, if the 49ers would have won, of course, I think Kaepernick was a shoe-in for the MVP. On the Ravens side, as I watched the game, I thought, well, you know, Flacco should get the MVP, but I also thought it could be Anquan Boldin. I also thought it could be Jacoby Jones. I also thought it could be, well, I'm not really sure. I haven't. Those are the main candidates. Maybe Ray Rice, but really I was leaning more toward Anquan Boldin. And but anyway. But yes, Flacco had, someone has to throw the ball for Bolden to catch it. And Joe Flacco did have an amazing game, and he deserves the MVP. And so the Ravens won it. And of course, there was a controversial call at the end. And Jim Harbaugh is upset because he thought it was holding on the last play. And yeah, I guess that might be debatable. Maybe some people will say, yes, you're right. It is. But that's the way the referees called it, and that's the breaks of the game. Unfortunately, I don't know. There's always been some controversial calls in major games over the years, and this maybe go down in history as one of them. But then also the blackout in the third quarter was a big disadvantage to the Ravens, and who knows? We might find out what the cause of that was. Who knows? There was also a blackout at a San Francisco game last year, in 2011, and also there was a blackout at the Meadowlands, the new Meadowlands, with the Dallas Cowboys playing the Giants. And yours truly, True Blue Frog, and my friend Azul Frog were going to be at that game, but we couldn't make it, and so we had to sell our tickets to a friend. But yeah, I heard that it was a very kind of scary and weird. That game I think was 2009, the 2009 season, I believe, or 2010. I don't know. It's all a blur, Anyway, so I'm watching the post-game show and seeing the Ravens are making snow angels in the confetti, and they're having fun celebrating. And as a Cowboy fan, I have to say it's nice to see the 49ers lose the Super Bowl, because if they had won, then they would be ahead of us in Super Bowl trophies. We're both tied for 5 trophies. If they had won, they would have won their 6th trophy. And so that's a little sticking point for Cowboy fans. And anyway, that's all I have to say. It was a great Super Bowl. What a great game. And no shame on the part of the 49ers. They played an amazing game. They're a great team, and they're sure to be back again in the near future. And the Ravens are sure to be back again also. They have been knocking on the door for 5 years, and finally they knocked it down. And a great way for Ray Lewis to end his career, and a great way for Kaepernick to start his career. And hopefully the Dallas Cowboys will have a better year next year, and maybe we might get into the playoffs, or maybe we might even have like a winning season, and maybe we might win more than 8 games, or maybe I don't know, pigs will fly in the sky, and maybe Jerry Jones will get off the throne and let someone else general manage the team, someone who understands football, and he can go start a circus, because he seems to be more interested in having big concerts and big events in his ridiculously large Cowboy Stadium, which should have been named Landry Stadium. But hopefully karma comes back and bites Jerry in the behind. That's just my opinion, because I think he's really not doing a good job right now. Okay, enough. You can send me hate mail. I'm sure I will get a lot of hate mail. By the way, if you're looking at a still photograph of my face, and that's because all season I've had technical difficulties with my video camera, and so it's been a rough season for yours truly, True Blue Frog. First I was working at McDonald's, and now these. So hopefully by next year we'll start up anew and upgrade, and everything will be much better. So this has been a great football season, and congratulations to our new Super Bowl NFL champion Baltimore Ravens. This has been your friend True Blue Frog signing off and saying see you next year. Or maybe I might put a few posts in between during the off season. I probably will, because I get bored and I want to talk to you. All right, see you later. I gotta go. There's some Doritos and some guacamole waiting for me on the lily pad, and some Dr. Pepper. So I better go. See you later. Bye bye.